Welcome everyone to another episode of Allergy Smart TV. I'm your host, Aaron Dwyer. I have a fair bit to cover today, lots of good news. Unfortunately, I'm a couple of days late. We've had a savage flu rip through the Dwyer household, and I'm the only one who's still left standing, so it's been quite an adventure. Anyway, straight to it this week. I've got a few topics to cover. First of all, Melanie and I went to the gluten-free food and allergy show here in the Brisbane Convention Centre on the weekend. I must confess, I did not realise that there were as many local providers of food allergy, or that are food allergy aware, here in Brisbane. It's actually taken off quite a bit. The surprising thing to me also was that I went under the assumption that the show would be about food allergies. Yes, it was a gluten-free food and allergy show. It was fairly generic as far as the allergies go. It wasn't specific to food allergies in any stretch of the means. The Anaphylaxis Australia didn't have an entry there, and I can sort of understand why, because it wasn't directly involved with food allergies, and it wasn't directly involved with anaphylaxis per se. There was quite a contingent though of vendors that were there that were, I guess for want of a better term, hawking their wares on the fact that they were free of dairy, free of nuts, free of wheat, free of this, free of that. And so it was quite good to see that local vendors are actually taking this up. I might actually talk about that in another episode, because I have two massive bags of stuff here that I've yet to go through of the local Australian vendors. So I will actually do that, and I'll run through a few of them in an up-and-coming show. On to another topic just quickly. I've had a comment on the blog regarding some schoolyard bullying in regards to anaphylaxis and food bullying at school. It's actually a bit disconcerting, but I would like to read it to you. It's from Jessica. I am facing a very serious situation at my school. My son, who is critically allergic to milk, was attacked by an allergy bully. The attacker put a Dorito in my son's food, burying it deep so my son wouldn't see it. That's our fear, isn't it? If it hadn't been for another child who took the food before my son ate it, my story would be very tragic right now. Anyways, when the child was asked why he did it, the child stated that he wanted my son to die. Very concerning, isn't it? The school has been asked if the attacker can come back to school to spend some time eating lunch with his former classmates. I thought that the child was expelled, but apparently not. So the mother has been giving the teacher, who has refused to let the attacker back into the classroom, all sorts of heck. Should I retain an attorney? Please help. That was on our blog. I replied to Jessica and I said, this is not legal advice, of course, but to me that's a criminal act. The children, I believe, were 11. Her son was 11, and the attacker was 12. I believe that's a sort of a criminal act. I have no idea about juvenile court systems, and I have no idea where Jessica comes from. And yeah, I basically said for her to cover her bases and perhaps seek whatever she thinks is appropriate. Personally, if it was me, I would definitely be pursuing all sorts of stuff, because to my mind that's totally criminal, and the attacker, obviously, if this story is correct, without remorse, confessed that he wanted the young boy to die. I mean, that's a sign in and of itself that child is in some serious trouble, and if he doesn't cause trouble now, he certainly will in the future. Please leave a comment on the blog just underneath this post here for Jessica with your thoughts on her particular situation. I know that she would greatly appreciate it. She's obviously going through a tough time at the moment. Now, on to the very special topic for this broadcast, and that is that through the week I did an interview with Linda Coss, who I mentioned last week that I was going to interview Linda. She's the author of 2 books,
and she was very gracious with her time. Half an hour phone call ended up stretching out to about 50 minutes. I did actually try and break up the call, but it did it a disservice because it actually worked out to flow very nicely. What I want to do is I want to put it all in, the full 50 minutes of the telephone call that I had with Linda, because I think it has so much quality content in there that you can get stuff out of. I really would be doing a disservice if I tried to break it up, because you'd lose some of the track of it. But what I want to let you know is that you don't have to consume it all in one sitting. It will appear in a player just below this broadcast, and you'll be able to click the play button, and a little seek bar will come up, and you can watch 10 minutes of it. You can listen to 10 minutes of it. You can pause it. You can come back to it another day. You can jump the seek bar to the proper spot where you're at before and continue on listening to it from that. You can also download it. It's an MP3 file. Some of you may be familiar with that. You can download it, put it in your iPod or your MP3 player, take it jogging with you or around the house or whatever you're normally doing. I know that that Melanie said to me, you really need to break that up, because as a mum, I don't have time to sit down for 50 minutes and listen to all that. And I said to her, well, look, if you're really into gaining good quality information about food allergies, you'll want to listen to it. Whether you listen to it all in one sitting or not, that's up to you. But I do just want to quickly mention the topics that we covered. We went from everything in banning nuts in schools, cooking with food allergies, what aspects to cover when sending your kids off to school, talking to the other parents involved at the school. How do you do that? How do other family members take on the food allergy awareness factors, and educating your child about their food allergies. How do you do it? How do you educate your child about their food allergies without them becoming basket cases? So we covered a fair bit of ground. I'll list those points out here in the blog post, and I've actually got the times that we spoke about those, 19 minutes, 21 minutes, 31 minutes, so that you can, if you want to, just jump straight to those points. So I'm actually very excited. I want to thank Linda for taking the time once again to do this interview with me. I am anticipating interviewing many other people. That is the first interview for Allergy Smart that we have done, and I have other people that I would like to be able to speak to as well. So hopefully in the future I might be speaking to you. Until then, listen to that podcast. It is fantastic. Oh, by the way, it's in iTunes as well. I'm still working out how to get these videos into iTunes, but the audio presentations that I do are going straight into iTunes as well. And I look forward to seeing and speaking with you again next weekend. Until then, bye for now.